Today, we are not talking about brand recognition or marketing hype.
Not at all.
We're pulling back the curtain and doing a deep dive into the technical foundations of what are the biggest names out there, Jungle Boys.
Exactly.
And our mission is pretty simple. We're going past the final, polished product to really excavate the blueprints. The original methodology laid out by Iván, or, his online persona, JackMayOffer.
And the source material for this is just fantastic. It's from excerpts of the JackMayOffer playbook presented by NugNotes.
Right.
And what's so cool is that these weren't like secret documents. They draw from Iván's super detailed logs, which he posted openly on forums, THCFarmer, ICMag, places like that.
So this is a massive shortcut for you, the learner. We are basically decoding how rigorous, almost obsessive data collection, not luck, not some secret strain, built a commercial powerhouse.
Exactly. We're showing you the operational secrets that were really hidden in plain sight.
And the timeline is the real shocker here.
It really is. JackMayOffer was logging this serious commercial scale work way back in 2009.
2009. That's years before the Jungle Boy's name was what it is today. He was building the foundation while most people were just getting started.
Meticulously.
Okay, let's unpack that. Segment 1, forums to foundations and the discipline of data. Let's start right there. 2009. This was not a basement setup.
Oh, not even close. The documentation shows it was professional from day one. We're talking 2 dedicated flip-flop rooms.
Okay.
Each one lit with 30,000 watts. And they were sealed systems using supplemental CORO. The whole operation was built around undercurrent buckets, UC buckets.
So this was high-tech, sterile hydro from the get-go.
From the very first day. This was a serious, serious commitment.
And what was the ethos behind all this? If it wasn't about just finding the perfect plant, what was the core principle?
The core ethos was simple: system mastery. Iván was crystal clear. I'm going to quote one of his logs here. He said, "I don't want a pissing match.
Yeah.
I want data."
I love that. So no arguments, just numbers.
Exactly. Every decision was governed by quantifiable, repeatable results, not just a gut feeling or what someone else said.
And to get that data, you need insane discipline. What were the specific protocols he was running in that UC system?
I mean, the level of detail is incredible. They used specialized UC modules, which are basically big recirculating reservoirs.
Okay.
And they immediately did a 3-inch recirculation upgrade. The upgrade part is key to maximize nutrient flow for these huge root systems. They also had sterile mother rooms, but get this in, pure coco.
Ah, so that's a little preview of what's to come.
It's a huge tell. And the nutrient stack was specific, Canna plus Roots Excel. It was a completely closed loop designed for one thing: consistency.
And when you look at those logs, it's not the gear that stands out, it's the measurement. This is where he really becomes a scholar, not just a grower.
That is the critical piece. He ran first and second-hand trials across his entire facility. The grow room was a living laboratory. He was posting his EC ramps, his lighting grids, all of it.
Let's pause there. For you, the learner, who might not be deep in the hydro jargon, we keep saying EC ramps. What is that, and why is tracking it so important?
Right. So EC, electrical conductivity, is just a measure of the salts or, the nutrients in your water. It tells you how strong the feed is.
Simple enough.
But the ramp is the schedule of how you increase that strength over the plant's life. Most people just aim for a number. Iván was logging the precise rate and timing of that increase.
Pushing the plant right to its absolute limit.
Exactly, without burning it. It's how you maximize uptake and yield. So while everyone else was just bragging on the forums, JackMayOffer was publishing the scientific roadmap to his success.
And that roadmap led him to a pretty big pivot, which takes us right into segment 2, the cocoa bed revolution.
He absolutely knew when the data was telling him to change. The playbook details this huge shift around 2012. He moves away from those complex UC trees to what would define the early Jungle Boys rooms.
The 4x8 cocoa beds.
That's the one.
Okay, hold on. If he mastered this super high-tech UC hydro system, why make such a huge change to cocoa? What was he trying to solve?
That is the million-dollar question for scaling up. The UC system, it's high yield for sure, but the maintenance at a commercial scale is just a nightmare.
Cleaning reservoirs, plumbing issues.
All of it. You're fighting pathogens. You're managing this complex network. For huge rooms, it's an operational headache. Cocoa beds gave him the best of both worlds.
How so?
You still get the control of an inert media, like in hydro, but you eliminate the massive infrastructure problem. It's simpler, it's more scalable, and you reduce your risk of losing a whole crop to one contaminated reservoir.
So let's get into that design, because this really became their signature. What did that 4x8 cocoa bed look like?
It was precise. A 4x8 tray holding two 4x4 smart pots. Each bed took 16 bags of cocoa.
And the sustainability factor here is key.
Huge. The cocoa wasn't just thrown out, it was reused for years. They kept it healthy with beneficial microbes, specifically something called OG Bio or T. It's just a deeply efficient closed-loop system.
And of course, the nutrients changed too. After all that testing, what brands made the cut?
The sources list 3 specific brands that became the new backbone: Heavy 16, Aptus, and Sea Green.
But it was the process that mattered.
Always. He ran full room trials, putting Heavy 16 up against giants like Sensi and Dutch Master. He'd test specific additives, a room with Sea Green versus a room without, and just log the yield difference.
Constant optimization.
It created a nutrient stack that was proven under his exact conditions to be superior.
And that system is only as good as the labor behind it. There's one detail in the source material about defoliation that is just physically staggering.
Oh, yeah. This shows the commitment. The playbook logged a specific metric on the waste from their training methods. They were hauling out 15 pounds of leaves a day.
15 pounds of leaves every single day. That's not farming, that's a workout.
It tells you everything. It means dense canopies, super high light intensity, and constant pruning to get light to the lower nodes.
And it means the plants were so healthy they could handle that extreme stress.
And that they needed it. It points to huge staffing and military-grade discipline. It proves the dedication to data was matched by pure physical execution.
That intensity is the perfect bridge to segment 3. Environmental engineering and setting benchmarks. Because you can have the base inputs, but it all comes down to genetics and environment. Let's talk about the keeper hunt.
This was the crucial part, the keeper era. They needed strains that could handle that intense system. The playbook breaks down their trials on Whitefire or WiFi phenos.
You found a few good ones?
He highlighted 3, number 3, number 43, and number 80. He called them the golden ticket OG leaners.
Okay, so for you, the learner, when we say phenos and OG leaners, what specific traits was Iván actually looking for and logging?
Great question. A pheno is just an individual expression of a plant's genetics. An OG leaner showed those classic OG Kush traits: density, potency, that structure. But Iván wasn't looking at bag appeal.
No, what then?
He logged that a key criteria was structural. He wrote, the ones white and veg with strong stems are winners.
Strong stems. Why was that so vital?
Because the plant had to survive the system. It was going to be defoliated like crazy, hit with high nutrients and high temps. Strong stems meant structural integrity. It meant they could hold heavy yields and bounce back from all that stress.
And Wi-Fi 43 became the icon.
It absolutely did. It became the defining JB cut. It had the perfect structure, it was a reliable yielder, and it had that raw OG character everyone wanted. It was stable and it was scalable in that cocoa bed system.
But the success of that strain depended on the environment. How did their engineering mindset translate into the actual room conditions?
The logs are so precise, they were intentionally pushing the plants way outside of the, standard recommendations. They ran the rooms hot.
So hot.
High 80s Fahrenheit during the stretch phase, only dropping to the low 70s late in bloom.
But doesn't that risk problems?
It does if you don't have perfect control.
Yeah.
But with supplemental Kioro, running in the high 80s just drives the plant's metabolism through the roof.
So they're just working harder, growing faster.
Constantly. And to support that, they had wall fans running 200 per 4/7 for relentless air circulation. The trays were all sloped for drain to waste, no stagnant water. They even had UV sterilization in the AC units. Every single variable was controlled.
And this precision allowed them to set completely new benchmarks. What were the numbers JackMayOffer was hitting?
The goals were quantifiable and for the time, they were astonishing. He logged achieving 226-gram singles.
Okay, break that down. What's a 226-gram single?
That's a single plant yielding 226 grams that was only vegged for 2 weeks and popped just twice.
2 weeks.
To put that in context, the established limit for soil growing was around 1.75 grams per watt. Hitting over 200 grams from a plant vegged for 14 days was just unheard of. The cocoa and Aptus system, the sources say it shattered ceilings.
That 226-gram metric is the ultimate proof. It wasn't a brag. It was the new operational standard for every room they built.
Exactly. If a new room couldn't hit that number, the system was wrong, not the goal. It was the measurable ROI for the whole methodology.
So what does this all mean today? Let's move into segment 4. the legacy of the playbook.
It means that when Jungle Boys finally exploded into the mainstream, the forum heads, the people
Yeah.
who've been reading these logs since 2009, they saw it immediately.
They recognize the fingerprints.
Instantly, the big rooms, the data, the clean execution, those specific OG-leaning plants. The brand wasn't built on hype. It was built on a methodology that was documented and proven for years, right out in the open.
So this brings us to the critical question for you, the learner. Why should you care about a decade-old playbook?
Because it proves that real success at a commercial level isn't about luck. It's about a replicable, documented methodology. The JackMayOffer playbook cocoa beds, precision environment, ruthless selection, that was the engine long before the brand name was famous.
It shows that systems beat slogans.
And data beats guesswork, every time.
And we can really boil that down to 4 pillars that Iván established. First, data-driven trials, treating the grow room like a lab.
Second, the cocoa bed technology, which was that perfect balance of control and scalability.
Third, precision environmental logs, which let them push the biological limits.
And fourth, that ruthless pheno selection, focusing on structure and performance, which is all embodied by Wi-Fi 43.
The ability to measure, record, analyze, and then pivot based on those numbers is the whole secret.
It is. The commitment to those strict rules and real data built a system that could scale from 2 rooms in 2009 to the global brand it is today.
The playbook wasn't a secret at all. It was just a demonstration of extreme, profitable discipline.
And that leads us to the final thought we want to leave you with. If massive success in any industry is about identifying your constraints and hitting specific measurable metrics, like 226-gram singles on a 14-day cycle, then what's your playbook?
Right. What specific detailed logbook are you currently writing in your own field of focus?
Because without those numbers, without constantly logging your inputs and outputs, you aren't actually building a system. You're just hoping for a result. Think about that until the next deep dive.